What is going on? What is going on? Welcome to another edition of All American Sports Network. If it's your first time tuning into the broadcast, do me a favor, go ahead on and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell all the way up top. Please like and share. Please like and share. Now, with that being said, guys, we're just going to go ahead on and jump into this. There's a lot to unpack into the week 4 of college football news. A lot of upsets, a lot of things that happened that nobody was prepared for. Uh, Even I was shocked about some of the results that happened with uh, Clemson. I really thought that Clemson was going to be still in the hunt, maybe, but I thought they would get it together, but it looks like they did not get it together, so they're not still in the hunt. So we're gonna go and break down everything as much as possible um, about these games, and then from there we are going to also talk about what's going on in NFL, my predictions of the games, the rest of the games for this week. Sorry about not being able to uh, be on my grind like I normally do with the NFL last week. I had a lot going on with the family, but today it should be a very more relaxed day. So I should be able to give y'all some more updates throughout the day as much as I possibly can. Um, so that way y'all guys can be in the know of what's going on with the uh, updates on college football. Excuse me, on NFL football. So let's go ahead on here. Let's get into it. So the first game we're gonna talk about in this wild and crazy series is going to be University of Georgia, aka the Georgia Bulldogs, and Vanderbilt. Now, I'm gonna go ahead on here and share the screen with you guys on this particular one right here. Now, everybody knows that Georgia right now is on the hunt for the playoff for the championship this year. Now, we have all talked about it over and over again on this channel that Kirby Smart over the offseason recruited heavily a lot of 5-star and 4-star recruits into the program. And that heavy recruiting has paid off because if you notice, the team he has built is a beast when it comes to defense. Again, Georgia has proven once again how vital they are for defense. Now, I'm not taking nothing away from Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is an okay team. I wouldn't say they're like a spectacular team. But when you get beat the way they got beaten, it just tells you that they're not ready. Okay, they were not ready for what Georgia was about to put on them. So let's go do a recap of how fast this thing got out of control. Now, first off, let me go pause this. Let that play in the background. Now, the Georgia coach Kirby Smart has spent the week talking about Mike Tyson pushing his Bulldogs to start fast and play up to the standard he wanted this season. And that's what they did. JT Daniels threw for 121 yards and 2 touchdowns and only playing only the first quarter as a number 2 Georgia dominated Vanderbilt. They beat them so bad that this was their biggest win since 1893. 1893, guys. That's a long time. You know, I would never want to be the team that caused the other team to score so many points over me that in 1893 I have to go into the record books and shake my head and walk away. 1893. That's right. My wife is on the line talking to me right now. Yes, honey. The Georgia Bulldogs beat Vanderbilt, Tennessee. They went to Tennessee and whooped ass from 62-0. This is the most they ever got their behind cut since 1893.
You don't feel like 1983?
1893, when it first started. Okay. When the University of Georgia first started playing football, they beat their own record. They scored more points than they ever did playing against any team. Okay. Yeah, my wife is pretty excited about that. We're Georgia fans over here, I have to admit. Now, this game was effectively over, okay, when it was 35-0, and it was only the second half, guys. They said it was so many people that was representing Georgia at this game. People started walking out at the beginning of the third quarter. You know you're doing bad when your home team walks out on your game on the third quarter. You know, I mean, I don't want to brag on these guys, but man, I'm embarrassed for them. This is not good. It was expected this is going to be a blowout, but this is more than a blowout. This is an obliteration. Okay? That's what it was. They had no hope, no chance. Oh, my God. I feel bad for them. Guess how many yards that Vanderbilt wound up having out of the whole game? 77 yards. Guess how many yards Georgia had combined? 524 yards with passing and rushing. Jesus. What? I felt like the game was a middle school team going against a freaking college team. That's what it was. A middle school team going against a college team. That's JV football going against a college football team. Jesus. Yeah, it was crazy. So, you know, the coach said, you know, we came out flat, we turned over the ball, we made mistakes, especially in the special teams arena.
Feel stuck with your finances?
But
move your money to SoFi.
It's not even that. It's that, you know, y'all guys just was not prepared for what was going to happen. So this is what we can take away about this game. I don't want to spend up too much longer. We got a lot they got to cover here, all right? JT Daniels is now a 7-0 as a starter. Okay? That's pretty impressive for a quarterback in college. Smart was able to smother Vanderbilt almost literally, having no way to go. Bennett had 151 yards and a touchdown as the backup quarterback. See, that's another thing nobody's not talking about. Georgia got more than one damn good quarterback. So if JT Daniels don't do good, they also got Bennett. So Georgia's got, I'm telling you, Georgia got a team this year. Like I know everybody keeps saying Nick Saban. No, this is the team that's gonna beat Nick Saban's team. I got money on it. I know it is. I'm telling you, Georgia is that team. Georgia is that team. I'm telling you, they got 9 different Bulldogs had at least one rush, while 9 different Bulldogs caught at least one pass. Vanderbilt had a couple of moments. The defense turned Georgia over on downs late in the first half, uh, stopping James Cook for no gain, 4th and 1 at the Vandy 3. Ethan Barr got the interception off a breakup by Jalen Mahoney, but yeah. Actually, this game didn't even hurt Georgia at all in the top 25 spot. It still makes them number 2. Now, don't get me wrong. The scouts would have said they would have liked to seen a better scrimmage, but I don't know why. I mean, what better scrimmage they were? They played damn near to perfection, 62-0. I don't get where the scouts would have said that, but ESPN, these other guys, they got to say something negative. They can't make it where you played an absolute perfect game because then that'd be biased. Smart says an NFL GM told him the best thing he could tell his Bulldogs was to play well enough for their teammates to play. I didn't have the guts to say it, but they did. Smart said they went and played well, and the other guys got to play because they played well. So our team got to grow as a unit because of our ability to play a lot of players. And he got to because he's got a whole bunch of 5-star recruits, or he's going to lose them. So they got to all work together and get a chance to get in. Georgia will host Arkansas in another early kickoff next Saturday. We already know how that's going to go. I love you, Arkansas, and everything that you guys do, but I don't see this being good for you either. Vanderbilt hosts UConn next Saturday in the last non-conference game of the season. So, shout out to Georgia. Georgia have had its ups and downs, but to see them in the ranked number 2 for a change, and and I also want to give a shout out to our rival, Florida Gators. I'm not a Gators fan, but I have Gator fans that follow me. So, yeah, shout out to them, too. They're doing good this year, too. Makes me feel good to see my Georgia-Florida connection actually doing pretty well in the polls this year. One's number 2, and I think another one is number 6 or 7. I got to go back to the polls and look. But I know the Gators is nipping at its heels on the polls, so it's looking good this year for these guys, man. Being in the top 10, when you're one of the top, it's hard to stay there sometimes. But hey, shout out to these guys. They're making it look easy on that field, man. All right, so let's go to what's going on with Clemson. Now, guys, this is sad. Clemson was ranked number 9 in the polls. But now, after they got beat by the North Carolina State Wolfpack in overtime, Clemson is no longer in the rankings. They're no longer in the rankings. Now, this is troubling. And I say that to say this. I think they're going to go through some growing pains because the Clemson was used to having the star quarterback that's now playing for Jacksonville Jaguars. And, when you got a star quarterback like they had, that dude was awesome in college football, playing football, doing his thing. I think that the people that they got there now are probably still trying to go and learn the ropes. And I just think that this is going to be a growing process. I think every team goes through it. You can recruit as much as you want to, as heavy as you want to. But if you get to a point where you got people that are still learning to grow, this is what happens. So I'm going to go ahead on and play. I mean, not play, but talk about this. Because like I said, I'm not playing anything from ESPN. Because every time you play anything from ESPN with sound, you get deemed on the channel. And I'm not trying to get my channel strike when we're trying to grow over here. So Clemson's went over to Raleigh, North Carolina on the road. And it just it started out pretty good. The first quarter they scored. Second quarter, nobody scored. They went to the half. Half came back. North Carolina scored. Fourth quarter, Clemson scored again. And then in overtime, the Wolfpack just turned up. Now, North Carolina State forced DJ, I can't pronounce his name, I'm going to say U, into a fourth down incompletion to seal a 27-21 win against the Tigers on Saturday. It's an outcome that shakes up the Atlantic Coast Conference race while also dealing a huge blow to the Tigers' playoff hopes in the long term, behind yet another woeful offensive performance to start the year. And that's what's been the problem with them. Their defense been pretty decent. It's just that they don't have an offense, bro. Like, you can't win a game if you got a fire behind defense and your offense sucks. It just don't work. Now, North Carolina State had lost 8 straight and 15 to 16 meetings of the Tigers, which included at least one painfully close loss that fueled a bit of Murphy's Law level pessimism. Locals know it by an expletive featuring nickname among Wolfpack fans. No more, at least not for the 9th year, Dave Doran after his first win against a top 10 team. Now, David Doran, I think that this year his job was on the line because the Wolfpack ain't really been doing that well. They ain't never been doing that well since David Doran has taken over. So, when you don't do that well, then it's getting to the point where, booster clubs, everybody want to see a chip or some type of major bowl win. Things start getting a little heavy over there. Now, Devin Leary threw for 4 touchdowns, including the winning 22-yard pass to Devin Carter, who made a twisting adjustment to the back shoulder throw and got both knees down inside the back right corner of the end zone for the lead to start the second overtime. And before I go more further in this story, let me tell y'all something. I hear a lot of people saying that since the NCAA has made it where these college kids in sports can make money off their likeness, everybody kept saying that these college kids were not going to be playing their best. Well, look at it now. It seems like to me they're playing better because they're getting paid for their services. There's an outlet now. They can do what they want to do and they get to play. So I think it prepares them for when they get in the NFL. They already got the mindset of this is a job, this is something I love to do. Let me show them how good I am at it.
helping them bring their businesses online so
Hold
they
on
can
one second. I think my
thrive
wife
in
was
the
agreeing
digital
with me.
economy.
Yeah, I mean that's what I feel like.
moving the world forward for all.
But a lot of people not
Because
saying that. A lot
truly,
of people are
no
saying
one should be left
that
behind.
that it's not going to work. Now, the player you slightly overthrew Justin Ross near the goal line on the 4th down to start the celebration of North Carolina State first win in the series since 2011. I kind of caught with everybody's storming the field. Leary said, I was looking for my mom, looking for my dad. I eventually got to them. They were still in the crowd. But the first person I was able to hug and just celebrate with was Coach Doran. So, I'm happy for them. Now, it was a brutal day for the Tigers. They got their second loss to make it an unlikely climb to extend their streak of making every year to the playoff since the first edition in 2014. This is a big setback for the Atlantic Division for the 6-time league champions. While injuries mounted with linebacker James Skalski, defensive tackle Brian Breeze, and running back Will Shipley being knocked from the game. So they got injuries too. So what we got out of this game was the Tigers came in. They had 17 points in 2 games against bowl subdivision opponents, including failed to reach the end zone in their season opening loss to number 2 Georgia. Nothing in this game elevated any of those offensive concerns, with the Tigers struggling to block up front to consistently sustain drives. Clemson finished with 7-3 and outs. I think the main thing, we could get into a rhythm. You said and this is the quarterback. North Carolina State, uh, the Wolfpack now has controlled play most of the way. They were running 96 plays to Clemson's 49. They extended drives, converting 11 to 21 third down. Pretty good. Yet Doran's team had to overcome plenty of adversity too. From a penalty field day, they had 11 for 105. Mm, to three missed field goals from normally reliable kicker Christopher Dunn, including him pulling a 39-yarder to end the regulation wide left. It was still added to the biggest win of Doran's Wolfpack tenure. Now, there's something they can overcome with that. I think that was nerves, because a lot of time when you're an athlete and you are going against people that are notoriously a bigger division, someone that you can actually expect to feel the that you can especially expect that you may lose to, you get a little nerves. But I think they overcame come it by just pushing forward and just using their offensive prowess to over the hump. This was just an offensive battle that the Wolfpack won. I mean, you can't say it was a defensive battle because, North Carolina State Wolfpack defense ain't the best in the world. I mean, we're not gonna say that. So the Tigers started the year at number 3, but they are set to take a big ass tumble. They suffered the second September loss, so they're now no longer on the polls. The Wolfpack on the top 25 ranking with this big win. Yep, they did. So, but you still got good performances from Clemson's Baylon Scepter, and then don't forget North Carolina State receiver Emeka Emenzi. Now, Sector had 19 tackles for the injury depleted Tigers defense, and Emenzi had 14 catches and 116 yards. Now, Clemson's supposed to go against Boston College, North Carolina State. They'll be going against Louisiana Tech. Now, I'm going to tell you with the Clemson game next week, it's going to be about how bad those injuries are and see what they can do with their defense. Because right now, they don't have a decent defense. They need to upgrade their defense with some of these injuries. They need to get somebody to step up to the plate. And their offensive line right now, it just got to be a little bit more active. I mean, it's just what it is. That's the only way the Clemson can really get out of this situation. So we're going to go back and continue to talk about these other games. So that was Clemson there. Again, it's sad to see a juggernaut of a team go through this type of growing pains. I mean, you got injuries, you got a quarterback that's, still trying to learn the game. It's a lot. It's a lot for them right now. I'm not making excuses for them, but, not everybody can just slide into the slot like it ain't nothing. Everybody has their, had their problems. So let me go up in here and give y'all the other scores. Try to highlight some of these good games here. All right. All right, hold on, guys. All right. All right. Trying to find some other upsets. Trying to find the Florida Gator game. I don't see it. I don't know if they played yesterday or not. All right, I can find out. Let me go back to the home. Well, in the meantime, we're going to talk about Alabama's game because that was a good game, and then we're going to go and break down all the rankings. So sorry, Florida fans. I'm probably not going to be able to get to them today in depth like I do. I try to focus on as many as the top five as I can that people are watching very closely. So let's go up here to this one right here. So Alabama is still on top. They are still 4-0. Now, they had an explosive game too, but they did have some people that scored. This team had two. So let's go ahead on and let's drop into what Nick Saban and company did when they had to host Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles, who are 1-3. Okay, 0-2 already in their conference. Jamison Williams was off to the races. The first time he touched the ball, and the second, in the fourth, you just unstoppable. Maybe even uncatchable. Definitely. Williams, the Ohio State transfer who brought another speedy playmaker to Tuscaloosa, had three monster plays. He opened up the game with a 100-yard kickoff return. Then he added an 81-yard touchdown catch on his second touch and another 83-yard running back in the top-ranked Crimson Tide 63-14 win over Southern Mississippi on Saturday night. My strategy every time I get the ball, I'm trying to go to the crib. Williams said after becoming the first side player who with two kick return TDs in a game. He's a monster. I don't know why Jamison Williams transferred from Ohio State, but I know Ohio State pretty pissed off right now. That boy's a beast. I'll give him that. Williams and the Crimson Tide needed just 14 seconds to put to rest any worries of a letdown against Southern Mississippi, 1-3 after a close win over number 11 Florida and a number 13 Mississippi on deck. Bryce Young was nearly flawless in throwing the 5 touchdowns while completing a 20-22 passes for 313 yards. Williams, meanwhile, had 258 all-purpose yards on just 4 touches. I call guys like him, he's a dog. Alabama coach Nick Saban said he loves playing, he plays hard, he plays fast, and he's got great speed. And I think that's one of the things that we love about him in getting him here. He was complimenting our other guys because he gave us a great vertical threat. And he is. Now, this is business as usual. This is win number 100 in a row over unranked components and plenty of playing time for backups. Just add a trio of huge plays from the speedster Williams. Now, here's my thing. I understand Roll Tide fans are excited that they're number one. I still got one issue with the Roll Tides on my takeaway with all this. I still think that Alabama don't have the defense. They don't have the defense to handle a team like Georgia. I still say it because they barely won against Florida. And Florida had a decent defense. It wasn't as ranked as high as Georgia's on, but it was a decent defense. And they barely won. So I don't see how they're going to be able to defensively prepare for Georgia when Georgia and then wherever to meet up if everything goes as planned on the championship stage. Because Georgia is hungry. They're hungry. They shutting people out. They're not being friendly. So I like I said, I'm not knocking the team. I think Nick Saban is an amazing coach. But I'm telling you, Georgia's out for blood. Georgia's tired of getting clowned. They're out for blood. It's my team. I love them. I'm always going to brag about Georgia. That's just how I am. They out for blood, man. They really are. So they did have an injury. Alabama did
At
themselves
Verizon,
at
we
Brian
are
Robinson
committed to supporting
Jr.
small
He sat out the
business.
game, but Drew
We
Brees
provide grants to
sustained
help
late in the
owners
part of the game,
navigate
backed
through the
up
pandemic.
McClendon, and Williams did
And
just
now we're
fine.
pledging to
They
support
averaged
1 million businesses nationwide, helping them bring their businesses
They get it
online so
presumably
they
a
can
beautiful
thrive
road
in a
home
digital economy.
visiting Rice.
We create the
Alabama will
networks that
host
move the ball forward
Matt
for all.
Farage,
Because we
Lane
believe no
Kiffin,
one should be left
13,
behind.
Mississippi has an open date to prepare. I'm quite sure they'll win Mississippi. Nothing against Mississippi as a team, but I don't see them winning that. I don't know why it's doing that. Yeah, I don't see them winning that at all. At all. So let's go up here and move on to other waters. We are going to talk about where we at with the rest, the rankings, because y'all want to know the rankings as of right now, and we are about to tell you. All right. So here's the final game. That's the one I was looking for. I had it. I was looking for the scoreboard. So we're gonna go into Florida, and then we're gonna talk about the rankings and where that puts everybody. Let it load. All right, Florida Gators. Here you go. I know y'all. This is for my boy Mike Jones. He always talking about his Gators, so I know you follow me on the sports thing. I got you, dog. I'm gonna talk about your Gators. So now the Gators is at number 11. Okay. Which, like I said, I thought it was at number 7, but I was wrong. But they're at number 11 per what I'm seeing on the rankings here. All right. Let's see here. So we're going to recap this. Emory Jones, he came up big. They was over here at Gainesville, Florida, and they rep their home stage. Now, Emory Jones did something that no quarterback has done since Tim Tebow, with backup Anthony Richardson cleared to return next week. Jones might have a tough time accomplishing that feat again. Jones had 2 touchdown passes to go with a career high 144 rushing yards rushing, leading the 11th ranked Gators to a 38-14 victory over Tennessee on Saturday night and extending nearly 2 decades of dominance in the series. So it was his 5th straight and 16th in 17 years in the series that used to go a long way towards deciding the Eastern Division. First year Tennessee coach Josh Heupel is trying to get it back there. But it looks like it didn't work that time. Now, Let's see what else that we had that was good. Now, Jones completed three straight passes that set up a trick play touchdown. Jones lateral to Trent Whitmore, who found Ken Gamble in the end zone for a 13-yard score. It was Florida's first trick play touchdown in 3 years. So they had a 9-yard touchdown pass to Rick Wells. So they did real good, man. Jones completed 227 passes for 209 yards on the night, and they ran 50 times with a long of 49 yards. He became the first Florida quarterback to top 200 yards passing and 100 yards rushing since Tim Tebow in 2009. So congratulations to Emory Jones, man. So what do we take away from this? This is what we found out. We find out the Tennessee Volunteers, they're doing pretty good. They're not, they're in a building stage, so they're going the right way. We also have acknowledged too that the Gators did have a problem with giving up too many big plays early. And they're going to run the table in the SEC and get back to the league title game. They're going to have to shore up that part of their defense. Getting standout on cornerback Karen LM back would be a start. He missed the game with the sprained right knee. So they said that Florida should be in the top 25 on AP Associated Press poll and everything else. So we'll see. So let's see how that poll's looking right now. And see did it been updated for week 4. See if I don't think it's been updated. I think it's still. Yeah, I don't think it's been updated yet, guys. I'm looking to see. Yeah, it ain't been updated yet. So we'll see. We will see. Right now they're at 11, but I think they'll go up. I'm quite confident they'll go up. So we about to go into back to the rankings of what ESPN's got saying. But I think they should be. They should be at least. I would give Florida on that win. They should be at least number 10, at a minimum of 10. I wouldn't go out and say that they need to be like up there, but I'll give them about 10. So see, Mike, I am trying to get your boys in the top 10. Oh man, let me stop. All right. So this is what everybody found out about September so far going into October. What we have learned. So what we have learned that a lot of the ACC Power 5 might not make it to the big stage. All right, they really don't, because right now the only ACC teams that's undefeated is Wake Forest and Boston College. And guess who plays Boston College? Clemson. And the way Clemson is playing, Boston College might just beat them. And then with Clemson's loss, that knocked everybody out of there on the ACC side. Now Texas A&M Ain't ready for the big stage. They're really not. I don't see it either. I mean, they've been doing good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think they're ready. I mean, they felt snubbed last year because they ranked at number 5, but I don't see them as a big powerhouse. Now, in the Big Ten, they've got 5 undefeated teams. They got the Maryland, Penn State, they got Iowa, Michigan, and Michigan State. And they all have to play each other, starting with the old Iowa's trip to College Park on Friday. So this is going to be crazy with Big Ten. Big Ten right now, that's going to be that's a fun division right now because you got 5 undefeated teams. Now, a lot of people are saying Notre Dame doesn't look like a top 14, but it doesn't have to, not yet. You know, as long as they keep winning and improving, they're going to be in consideration for a semifinal spot. I mean, you got to look at Saturday's win against Wisconsin was another step towards that, and the Irish were able to do it with their third straight string quarterback. So Jack Coan, and then they true freshman Tyler, even with an injury, and true freshman Tyler Buckner, he couldn't play because he was unavailable with a hamstring. So here's the 4 things we need to watch. Is the Arkansas Razorback a legit challenger to Bama in Georgia? If not the Razorbacks, is there anyone in the SEC? Now, they just won against Texas A&M recently, and they playing their hearts out for Pittman. So I don't see it. I don't see them beating Georgia, bro. They're gonna have to. It's gonna have to be an any given Saturday on that one. Ole Miss, they may be able to pull off an upset with Ole Miss. I mean, I've seen that happen with teams, you know, getting acclimated and pull it off. I don't see it. Can Ohio State or Florida make a move as a one-loss team? That's another question everybody's asking for October. Now, Ohio can still win the Big Ten. The Gators can win the SEC East, and they can run a shot at redemption against Alabama in the conference championship game. But Florida overcame a sluggish start to beat Tennessee on Saturday and should win in its next 3 games against unranked SEC East opponents before facing us on October the 30th, which will be Georgia. The winner of that game will take the lead in the East. But ESPN FPI gives the Gators only a 30% chance against the Dogs. Yeah, you're not going to beat us, bro. Mike, I know you listen to this, but no, Florida's not going to beat Georgia. Not going to happen. Not going to happen, bro. So we got too many backups to the backups. That's not gonna work. Now getting back to the Buckeyes, who cruised to the win against Akron under quarterback Kyle McCord, who replaced the injured starter C.J. Stroud. It was a pretty good. It was a good performance. Ohio State fans have been waiting for, but it came against Akron and not Oregon. If Ohio State can beat Penn State on the 30th of October, the narrative of the Buckeyes will actually put them in the picture for winning the Big Ten. So let's see how that works out. Can Cincinnati win the most game that matters the most? I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it because they're playing easy components, and Notre Dame is out here getting it. So I say no to that one. I take a risk on it. And can Oregon and Oklahoma avoid upsets in the struggling leads? I don't think so because right now this is one of those times where people are trying to prove themselves. So anybody can get an upset. Even my team can get an upset. So you can't never say they can avoid upsets. I mean, you can try, but it ain't guaranteed. All right, let's get back to go move forward. Let's wrap up onto the NFL right quick and tell y'all what my thoughts are. So that way we can get y'all guys geared up for today about the NFL. Now, a lot of games are coming today. A lot of scheduled games, and they're actually playing right now. But I will get to those in a later on today. So we're gonna go with predictions. Who do I think gonna win what? We're gonna compare what ESPN said and what I said. And then y'all know me, when it's wrong, I will bust out and say that I take the hit. So let's go with the first one here. And what in fact, let me get a pen and paper because my wife gonna make me write this down so I don't forget this. Hold on. I'm getting where's the paper at, honey? About to get pen and paper, guy. I'm gonna write this down right quick. Yeah, my lovely assistant is April, my wife. She's my assistant when I'm broadcasting. No, she will not have her own show. She do not do sports. She just assists. Oh man, let me stop before she kill me. All right, Chargers against the Chiefs. Wow, now what to watch for? We got to watch for the Chargers quarterback Justin Herb, who done carved up the Chiefs twice last season, throwing more than 300 yards for each game and combining 4 touchdowns. Okay, so everybody is saying that Chargers. Here's what one of the guys is saying. So they're saying that even though Mahomes got a 16-2 record in the division games over his NFL career with 35 touchdown passes to just 8 interceptions in those games, since total QBR was just tracked in 2006, Mahomes is one of 3 QBs with a 70-plus career QBR division play ahead of Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, 15 starts. Now, here's the thing about Mahomes. A lot of people think Mahomes is, how can I put this, overrated. I don't think so. I think that he'll probably be one of the greats. I just think that right now, as long as Tom Brady is playing, nobody's not going to have a chance to be a great because Tom Brady is just a beast. You know, I mean, the dude is 45 years old and playing like he's a young man. So when you got somebody that talented, it's hard to say. So Smith's pick out of ESPN is the Chargers going to have 31, the Chiefs 27. Teicher's pick was Chiefs 34, Chargers 31. You know, I'm going to say B and do this because nothing against the Chiefs, but I think the Chiefs are going to have to be one of those teams that's going to have to experience the what they call that, the Super Bowl woes. I'm going to go with
You
the
have all the
Chargers.
ingredients for this in your
I'm
fridge. But ask yourself
I'm going with the
this.
Chargers.
Of all the times you've made it at home, has it ever tasted like...
Nothing against Patrick Mahomes, but I feel like that Justin Herbert might be his year, man. on this one. So I'm gonna go with the Chargers. Now, next, I'm gonna tell y'all the Saints versus the Patriots. Uh, everybody is thinking that it's gonna be the New England Patriots. Y'all know that right now the Saints is being taken over by Jameis Winston. And I then told y'all already that Winston to me is not a reliable quarterback. I'm sorry. I mean, he was held over 230 passing yards for the third straight week by Carolina. Their offense was held to 128 yards and it's 6 downs. You got to remember that the Patriots has a stingy defense. It's ranked 5 in the league right now. Very powerful defense. And you're going against Bill Belichick, who's on a mission to show everybody that his team is no one to play with. All right. Got a quarterback that's rocking pretty well, getting into everything. So this is what they're saying. Triplet saying the Patriots going to win 23, Saints 20. Patriots win 20-17. I'm going with the Patriots. I'm sorry. I don't see Jameis Winston winning this. That's my prediction. I just don't see it. Now, we got Washington at the Bills. I know they're playing right now. They are saying the Bills will win over Washington. We got the Washington defense came into the season with high expectations. But they started the year ranked at number 25. Close the door, son. In yards allowed and number 17 in points allowed against a Bills offense. Later, that is still improving. The defense front should have an opportunity to take a step forward with the Buffalo quarterback Josh Allen getting into a rhythm, making his day difficult as the Steelers did in week 1. Would go a long way towards a potential upset if the Bills offense has its way. However, Washington could be in for a long day. All right. So they think that the Bills will be able to do its thing with Stephon Diggs with 100 yards plus. And Washington has lost 5 straight road games at the Bills and all by double digits. His last road win at the Bills was in the week of 8 of 1987. You know what? I'm going with the Bills on this. So I'm going to go with the Bills for the win. Bills for the win on that. The Bears at the Browns. Everybody is looking at Cleveland Browns for the win. But the Bears rookie quarterback Justin Fields performed in his first career start. Chicago future and quarterback has arrived as the former Ohio State returns to the Buckeye State. He is the Bears' 36th different starting quarterback since 1989, the second most in the NFL over that span behind the Browns, which is 37. Fields would just rush for 2 touchdowns. He is still a work in progress in the passing game, but there is no denying his ability to run with the football. Don't be surprised if Fields also finished with close to 100 rushing yards in the NFL regular season starting debut. Now, y'all remember the Browns got Baker Mayfield. He has an 81.6% completion percentage. He's the highest in the NFL. The blessed completion rate by a Browns quarterback through the team's first 3 games is 75.8% by Milk Plum in 1960, and that's a minimum of 20 pass attempts. So everybody's picking the Browns, the Browns, the Browns. I'm gonna go with the Bears. I'm going with the Bears. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go with the Chicago Bears. I think that Chicago may do an upset. So I'm gonna go with Chicago on this one. I think this might be the upset game of the day. Now next, Ravens at the Lions. I'm going with the Ravens. I ain't even got to go no further. The Ravens got that. I'm not even gonna break this down. We already seen how the Lions are starting. Yeah, it ain't looking so good. We're going with the Ravens. I just think the Ravens is gonna blow them out. The Bengals at the Steelers. Ooh, this is gonna be good. Everybody's saying it's gonna be Pittsburgh. The Steelers edge rusher T.J. Watts, the quarterback Ben Roethlisberger are banged up entering. And here's the thing about Roethlisberger, man. I love Roethlisberger, but Roethlisberger need to go ahead on the retire. I mean, dude, you've been in the game for a minute too. It's time to retire. All the bang up injuries you had, I would have been retired. I thought you were gonna retire last year. It's time to let somebody else take the reels, man. So, me myself, everybody's saying it's gonna be the Steelers. It's gonna be another upset too. I'm going with the Bengals. I think the Bengals gonna outplay them. So we're gonna go with the Bengals for the win on that.
What you need? The brush. Is he loud? Yeah,
Colts at the Titans.
You can't be saying no.
I'm gonna go with the Titans on this one.
Whatever, y'all. Whatever.
Cardinals at the Jaguars. Yeah, I'm gonna say the Cardinals because right now the Jags got the Jags really got nothing going on right now. I mean, they got a rookie quarterback. The kid is still trying to figure it out. And I'm definitely going with that team there. I'm going with the Cardinals because I think that kid is not ready for the big leagues yet. I mean, I think that his first year as a rookie, he is not going to do good with the Jags. It's going to take him really a workout effort to do it. Oh my God, Falcons at the Giants. Man, this is a toss up here. That could be anybody. You know what? I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to give Atlanta the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say Atlanta win that one because it's my home. It's the state that I live in right now. I give you that win, Atlanta. Don't let me down. Dolphins at the Raiders. Raiders. I don't see the Dolphins winning that one. Buccaneers at the Rams. You know who I'm going with. The Buccaneers. Going with Tom Brady. I'm never betting against Tom. Seahawks at the Vikings. Oh, that's gonna be a good matchup. They pretty much evenly matched, but I'm gonna go and say on this one right here that since they're playing at the Vikings, I'm gonna say that it's gonna be Seattle. I don't see them um, beating them today. 49ers at the Packers. Aaron Rodgers, he's in the building, but I don't think he's going to beat the 49ers. Yeah, I don't see it. So I'm going with the 49ers. And Eagles at the Cowboys. That's interesting too. You know what? I'm going to give Dallas the benefit of the doubt. I'll say Dallas will beat them. I definitely say Dallas will, because Dallas is a very more forming team, and they getting it in. So that's my picks for the NFL. I will review them later on today or first thing in the morning with y'all about it. Once again, thank y'all for hanging out with Sports Update. Please like, share, subscribe. Please like, share, subscribe. With that being said, I'm out.